Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhashyatade Satarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Girim Yat Krupa Tamham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarine Hare Krishna. So today we'll see verse number 13 of chapter 14. So this verse talks about the mode of ignorance. So yesterday was mode of passion. Okay, so mode of passion we saw this intense endeavor, intense attachment is observed, and so much impulse to act is there. Right? Now this verse is ignorance. If we see that there is tendency towards inactiveness. So let us see this words. Okay. Aprakasho apravrittischa.
Aprakasho apravrittischa
Pramado moha evacha.
pramado moha eva cha
Tamasi etani jayante.
tamasi etani jayante
Vibruddhe kurunandana.
bibridhe gurunandana.
Okay, please chant.
Aprakasho apravrittischa pramado moha eva cha tamasi etani jayante vividhe kuru nandana.
प्रकाशो प्रवृत्तिश्च प्रमादो मोह एव च तमस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृते कुरु नन्दन.
Okay, so translation and purport. When there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, O son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested. Purport. When there is no illusion, knowledge is, when there is no illumination, knowledge is absent. One in the mode of ignorance does not work by regulative principle. He wants to act whimsically for no purpose. Even though he has capacity to work, he makes no endeavor. This is called illusion. Although consciousness is going on, life is inactive. These are the symptoms of one in the mode of ignorance. So very strong purport, right? So as I said, like in passion, there is a very impulse to act and a lot of activity is there. But when we go to ignorance, there is inclination towards inactivity. Don't want to do anything. Or you want to do what you like. So you don't think about Shastra, you don't think about what is correct, what should be done, what should not be done, nothing. You do whatever you want to do. That is ignorance. And this state, when we do whatever we want to do, is the state in which actually our mind controls our activities. So we'll do whatever our mind wants, because the intelligence not working properly. So whatever mind tells, the person acts. He does not care. And this happens when we are too self-oriented. We cannot think of others. We cannot think of people who are around us. We cannot think who is what is correct. We cannot think, right, if my action will impact to anyone, nothing. I want to do, I will do. That's it. And that is what is ignorance of the situation, ignorance of the place, ignorance of the time, ignorance of our other people. So we don't use our intelligence. This is ignorance. So the characteristic of ignorance is laziness, sleep, inertia. So we are very reluctant to do anything. And on Sundays we see, right? Sometimes it happens that if we are very tired, it happens in particular days that we don't want to do anything. We just want to sit and eat and watch TV, watch movie. Sometimes it happens. So that times actually the mode of ignorance is prominent, and by that we act in that way. So because there is no knowledge, so I want to sleep, I will sleep. I want to watch movie, I will watch. So we don't think that sleeping at this time is correct or not. Watching movie at this point is correct. No, I want to do, I will do. That's it. So that is ignorance. And ignorance sometimes takes us to the activities which are against the Shastra. And then we commit offenses, commit sinful acts, right? And of course, that ignorance of the knowledge or the Shastra or the principles, when we act from that in passion, we create wrong things, we do wrong things. So when we are in ignorance, so if somebody like these criminals, right, what we say criminals, or people who are doing the sinful activities, their problem is they are actually covered by the ignorance. They don't want to understand the reality, so they are just covered by ignorance, and then they are happy in that ignorance. So they don't know any Shastra, they don't know any principles, they don't follow anything. Whatever they want to do, and they feel this is the life, this is the happiness. So there is one word, there is one proverb, right? Ignorance is bliss. So when you are in completely ignorance, you just do what you like to do, and you don't care for anyone. And by doing those activities, we feel happy, we feel blissful, and we enjoy that. So that is what we say ignorance is blissful. But when the knowledge comes, then we understand what is good, what is bad, what should be done, what should not be done, how we should act in such situation, how we should act in particular situation, how we should talk. So all these are knowledge things. And when this comes, then you have to give up your own desires, own ego. And giving up the ego is the difficult, painful situation. Nobody wants to do it. And when we have to do it, then we don't like it. So then people say, oh, I was good in ignorance, I was enjoying. But that is temporary. The ignorance or enjoyment never remains. That enjoyment actually creates bonding and more trouble. But we don't understand. So at certain point of life, we have to go into knowledge. But Krishna is explaining about a person when how a person behaves when the mode of ignorance is prominent. And so passion, now in Kali Yuga, most of us are in the mode of passion or ignorance. That is the natural condition in Kali Yuga. With Shastra study, with some meditation, with some good activities, pious activities, with some good association, we sometimes get in the mode of goodness. And when we get in the mode of goodness, we feel happy and we feel peaceful. And then we like that actually. Oh, that was very beautiful day when I was there or I was with him. So because that time we were in mode of goodness. So this chapter actually from the last chapter when Krishna started explaining about the nature of this material world, uh, what we call Gyan Yoga or Sankhya Yoga, actually he is giving us the reality, what is happening with us in this world. And um, we don't know all these things. Many people don't know all these things. Goodness, passion, what is this? They don't know. They don't understand what is guna, what is nature, what is prakriti, what is soul. There is no. Most of the people don't think nowadays about all these things. Uh, so that they are in ignorance. They don't want to know. Even if you try to tell them, they say, don't waste my time. Okay. So if we try to tell people what is good, they say, don't waste my time. So this is how the situation is, right? So in Kali Yuga, the ignorance keep on increasing. And Kali Yuga just started 5,000 years ago. So it's just the beginning situation is like this. So we don't know after 10,000 years what's going to happen, right? So it's going to be more worse situations. And we can see now in Kali Yuga, all of us who are in their 40s or 50s, whatever, 35 also, if you remember the time 10 years back, how was the world, how was people's thought process, how the situations were handled, how people used to talk, how people used to interact. And you remember that, and you see now the situation. It's very different. So we think we are doing the progress, but we are going more towards the mode of ignorance, not the mode of goodness. We are going down. Our overall situation is going down. So we are still lucky that we are 5,000 years, just the beginning of um, Kali Yuga. So we should say that we are still lucky that we are in very good situation where we can make much spiritual progress by this knowledge. And so Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke at the end of Dwapar Yuga. That's the reason that Kali Yuga people should understand what's going to come and what they are into. And this chapter actually gives us the reality, picture of reality, that there are very less things which are in our control. We are being carried away by this material nature and this ignorance and this passion. And so we should take shelter of bhakti process, which can take us beyond all these things. So this ignorance actually is the reason of all the problems. We can very easily, it's not about Shastra only. For example, if I buy a computer today, or if I buy, say, fridge today, so there is a manual, how to start it, how to use it, everything is there. And if I don't know, if I don't read that manual, and I just start the fridge, just put the plug and switch on, and it may explode, it may not work. There are certain rules we have to follow. The compressor will shut down, something can happen, and that machine will not work. So what is the problem? Problem is not the machine. My problem is I don't know how to operate this thing. So computer, fridge are still the common things, but if I buy something new, now there are so many new gadgets and everything is there. So if I don't know and I start using this, I will use it wrongly, and that will spoil the purpose of that particular machine. So this is problem of ignorance. So I don't read the manual, I don't understand what to do, and I try to use, and I spoil the thing. So this is also by ignorance. So by ignorance, we are suffering at every stage in our normal day-to-day life also. If I don't know the difference between the salt, if the salt and sugar, they are both white and same granulity, they will look same. So sometimes I will put salt instead of sugar. So what is this? This is ignorance. I don't know what is what. So ignorance is the reason of so many problems, including our spiritual and material problems, right? So Krishna is telling that, okay, this is the situation now. So okay, we understand, okay, this is how the person behaves, so what to do? So that Krishna will tell us in the next verses. Okay, so we'll see those in the subsequent classes. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So any comments? Want to say something? Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.